A children's hospital in Wisconsin is sounding an alarm about serious health problems linked to vaping. The number of high schoolers using e-cigarettes jumped by nearly 80% last year. Dean Reynolds learned many kids are unaware of the dangerous chemicals they could be inhaling.
At Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, 8 teenagers were admitted just this month with serious lung damage, coughing, shortness of breath, and chest pain.
All right, and we're live.
I have had alcohols.
Okay.
Brandon,
Okay.
don't get too shit-faced. You're fishing in the morning.
Don't get too shit-faced. You're fishing in the morning.
Talk to Steve.
If
Talk.
Brandon is shit-faced, he makes a better fisher.
I am not going fishing. I'm sad about that, to be honest.
What's that?
All right. Well, welcome, guys. We're on a campsite,
Yes, we are.
so
World record.
I got a pretty janky setup right now, so I'm sorry for the quality.
Also, I'm drunk.
So today's guest is Nevin, also known as Steve.
I mean,
He's only Steve whenever he's drunk, so he's Steve right now. All right. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself.
well, I've been doing nursing for a little while now. It was surgical tech before. Started right out of high school. And then with my nursing, it's been difficult, you know. You gotta find your niche. Is that how you say
Niche.
it? Niche.
Niche.
Niche. And,
You're
know,
niche.
and it's been rough, you know. Everyone's in the same boat, really, you know. I'm not special or anything. but,
Everyone's
like,
looking at
we're-
us.
You know, with nursing, it's the grade. They upped it. So, like, C is a B, and B is an A, and it's just in that little, like, area. So it's kind of...
So just switching, you bumped your grades up?
Yeah, it's rough. You gotta... They ask more of you. The quality is higher, and then the cutoff is lower.
Okay.
So. But you wanted to talk about that vaping thing.
Yeah, so, in Milwaukee, there was, I believe, 8 cases where, teenagers have been hospitalized for vaping, and they're...
With pneumonia.
All of the clickbait is saying, doctors suggest stopping vaping
Okay, so
immediately.
with the vaping,
But it's because of chemical pneumonic.
chemical pneumonia.
Chemical pneumonia. Now, in the articles, if you watch the news clip, or I'm gonna be rolling the news clip, but if you watch the news clip, it says it can be related to vaping, but this hasn't happened in the past couple of years. It's just more recent this year coming out, and there's a lot of different articles that you could read and whatnot, and I have not a theory, but I decided to read a lot more articles on the subject. So in your field right now that you're studying, what do you feel about the topic?
Well, I mean, obviously, what's going on here is there's a fluid buildup in the lungs.
You know, that causes regular pneumonia.
That's understandable, you know.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about a chemical pneumonia.
Chemical pneumonia. Well, I mean, the only thing that I can understand there is that I feel like with the chemical pneumonia, maybe perhaps that what is it? Basically, the evaporation rate would probably be lower.
Yeah, but it means that there have to be added chemicals to the substance, right?
Of course, there'd be the impeding of gas exchange, oxygen, CO2, and then with chemicals, there would also be some sort of reactivity with the oxygen, because oxygen reacts with everything.
So,
basically.
with regular vaping right now, your store-bought vape, the vape juice or the pre-made cartridges, are either a 70% propylene glycol, or no, a 70% vegetable glycerin and a 30% propylene glycol mix. and there's some water, some flavoring, as well as the nicotine or not nicotine.
That's pretty interesting. I don't really know
So-
too much about it.
Propylene glycol is found in some things like chemicals used for cars, but it's also used as a flavor saver. So it's used in foods to like preserve them, right?
Yeah.
So PG is a preserver or a preservative, and then vegetable glycerin is used as a sweetener in drugs. So like pills, the reason why they taste so sweet, or those gels, those have vegetable glycerin in them.
Oh wow.
Okay? So these two different chemicals are what make vape juice, pretty much, plus your flavoring. The flavorings have all been FDA approved to be able to vaporize and inhale.
It sounds
Right?
like that sweet, the sweet part of it is not excessively
Vegetable
bad.
glycerin is from corn.
It's not excessively bad for the development of bacterial colonies.
Correct. So,
Probably.
so
It could be quite harmful. You know, you got fluid buildup.
yeah.
You got bacterial buildup. You know, could potentially
Uh-oh,
be
someone's getting
permanently damaging.
So whatchamacallit? So with vaping, it is you're vaporizing
Sit down,
a
Brandon.
liquid, and of course it's producing the water vapor.
Give me a beer.
So enough water vapor in your lungs is of course going to cause a water buildup. So if you're vaping 24/7, then of course you're going to have to expect yourself to have pneumonia.
You know what?
It's just like how you don't want to be in a fucking
You know-
sauna all day.
You heard the whole article about the CEO saying nicotine people who are using nicotine and trying to quit. We are not your target audience, and that they mean that the amount of nicotine you use, the amount that you'd be using it is outside of their of what they'd expect.
Now,
I mean, of course, you vape to enjoy it. You know, it
Yeah, yeah.
tastes good. You know,
but you do have the option to have zero nic, and you also have the option to go from a high level of nicotine to a very low
but
level of
like
nicotine.
with smoke, it doesn't leave any moisture. Moisture is the ingredient for like all sorts of complications. You know, because it's very penetrating. Moisture is when you autoclave, use moisture to penetrate and to have the heat go deeper in the material. You know, moisture is like the catalyst for everything.
So you're telling me that a water vapor is more harmful than a smoke?
Yes, because it's a dry heat with the smoke. The moisture is, you know, you got the moisture, so that you can have
Wait,
bacterial buildup.
But what if you're breathing in a humidifier?
Humidifier?
Yeah,
You
because that's
mean
water vapor.
like just a random humidifier?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have any it doesn't have any chemicals added.
I know,
in
but
it.
it's just a water
straight
vapor that's coming out.
H2O. I'm sure, you know, the humidifier, it's definitely harmful.
No, the vegetable
Certain
glycerin, it's not like it's
I'm no
producing
expert.
glycerin.
I'm no expert or anything, but like, you know, you have enough H2O there, and then there's the frickin' if there's a lot of mold in the air or there's a lot of bacteria in the air, you got recipe for disaster.
Okay.
There's no
So-
doubt there.
My thought of it is, if you vape a lot, then you should expect yourself to at least have
It's-
pneumonia once.
It's like
Now, pneumonia, though, as
yeah.
a whole, is very treatable.
yeah, there's when you do anything enough, and you're like, well, nothing happened, so I might as well just keep doing it. You're just rolling the dice. It's statistics.
Yeah, it's with
not,
everything.
It's not like I didn't get it. It's eventually I'll get it because it's
Yeah,
you
just like
live-
with drinking alcohol.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a liver disease, but if I continue
a
drinking, I might have
statistic.
a liver disease.
There's a
Yeah. Just like, if I continue drinking and driving,
yeah.
I'm getting closer and closer to a car accident.
There's a
Same thing with
statistic.
texting and driving.
There's so many variables there. It's impossible to predict.
Now, with so many years of vaping being on the market,
Brandon, give me a beer.
No.
It's like right there.
Power editing.
Oh wait, I can get it.
Yeah, you can get it. You scrub.
I have a beer.
So, with so many years of vaping already being in mainstream culture, there haven't been this many cases until this year.
No. My dad's got it. My dad's been vaping for a while because you know he's trying to quit smoking, and I didn't see it for some reason. Of course, I was like, well, it's water vapor, you know.
Yeah.
None of the dots connected. But
Now, did he get pneumonia?
He's got pneumonia right now. He had pneumonia. He was hospitalized for pneumonia, and then when he goes and does something physically straining, he's out of breath. He has trouble oxygenating his body.
Right, now,
His body demands oxygen. He's over here feeling fatigued.
Now, how often does he vape?
I don't know how often he vaped, but he vaped as regularly as a smoker would, you know? He would vape as,
Well, usually
like
a smoker would either A, sit in their house and just smoke whenever they have the urge,
Yeah.
or B,
and then in that
wait
case,
until they have to go outside to smoke, and
in
then
that
smoke
case
outside.
he would vape at those instances because it had nicotine, so he would follow the urge.
Gotcha.
And he was thinking, you know, it's water vapor, you know, it's less harmful, but you know,
Yeah.
of course, water in the lungs, water doesn't belong in the lungs. Not to that extent, you know, the pooling,
Your Uncle Sean?
Okay. So, that's regular pneumonia. So that there hasn't been any deaths to record of vaping, or maybe one or two rare cases where people have gotten severe pneumonia to where they died. But now we're saying a chemical pneumonia.
I don't know if there's been any deaths. I can't recall. But
There might be one or two, because like I know.
I do know that, you know, oxygen is meant to be in the lungs.
Yeah.
And then you got H2O, which is of, you know, a different
Yes, but you could also get pneumonia from other things though. Too.
Well, yeah.
Like staying in a hot tub.
Yeah.
You could get pneumonia because, let's say, you take really hot, steamy showers, and you just happen to take one a little longer in a very cold time of the year.
Makes sense.
So, like, pneumonia is a common thing.
Yeah.
Now, these articles are coming out saying chemical pneumonia, right?
Chemical pneumonia.
Now, one thing that I've noticed in the vaping community, and also the stoner community, is these THC pods.
Oh, yeah.
These cartridges,
This
right?
is news to me. I
So
don't
they're
really know too
vaping
much about
carts.
this.
So these cartridges are becoming more and more popular, and I've seen them like explode this year, right?
The cartridges?
Cartridges were like, it's like they got introduced and now everyone wants them, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well let's dig a little further into the research. So when I looked at the articles talking about the different cases of chemical.
Holy shit! You fucking smacked his ass.
So in these cases of the chemical pneumonia, everyone has admitted to vaping the THC cartridges.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're right.
So, because they became such a huge thing, there's a... Brandon's over there,
Brandon,
like...
scooch over a little bit and you're in the shot.
So, with these THC cartridges, like, taking over the market, there's been a high demand for them.
Right.
So, of course, people are going to try to get them as cheap as they could get them. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So there's a black market for things. Well, when there's a black market for vaping,
There's
an illegal substance,
There's shortcuts.
there's shortcuts.
Oh,
So
yeah.
of course it's not FDA regulated or anything,
Well,
right?
yeah.
So the real cartridges, like in Colorado, California, whatever, those are regulated and they're made with like high quality material.
Do you know exactly what constitutes high quality and low quality?
Yeah. So
Is there like react?
all of the
basically-
steel that's in it has to be surgical steel.
Let me make a prediction here. The high quality, of course, would be like low reactivity with outside substances.
Correct.
And then the low
So, like, every
would be high reactivity.
yeah. So
it'd make
every single vaping
compounds.
thing, everything that you could buy for vaping right now on the market, that's legal to obtain, is all regulated by the FDA.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the way it should be.
Yes, that's all regulated.
Yes.
So that means that my
Excuse me.
my coils all have I think it's surgical stainless steel,
Right.
right? So it's not going to have a chemical reaction.
Surgical stainless steel.
Yeah, it's not going to have a reaction to anything that's put in there,
That's cool.
right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, these black market ones, of course, the tanks are all made in China, so they're made with cheaper materials so they could get them for cheaper, and they're also making their own vape juice.
Yeah.
So who's to say how they're making this vape juice?
Right.
So
there's no way of knowing really.
exactly. So when they are producing the vape juice and then filling it into the cartridges, there's going to be a little bit of a chemical reaction when that's heated up and vaporized.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
Of course.
So with all of these people admitting that they're vaping this THC product, of course it's in a state that it's not legal, so
Yeah.
therefore it's not regulated.
Of course.
So therefore they're probably getting it on the black market for from drug dealers, obviously, for really cheap. It's like we're talking like $20 a cartridge,
Do you think
$30 a cartridge.
And you're assuming that there's a connection to these cases?
Oh yeah,
to those
definitely,
things?
definitely.
My
Because
dad-
like I said, they
my
all
dad
admitted.
my dad had pneumonia. And
Yes, regular
I do
pneumonia.
believe he obtained his cartridges legally. Although
No.
I don't
But
have all the
he doesn't have
information.
THC cartridges.
He might have had THC cartridges. I'm not
So
sure.
your dad is smoking weed.
He could be smoking THC cartridges. My dad's been like really, yeah, I don't smoke weed. And I'm like, dude, you do. I know you do. You were a kid in those times. Of course you smoke weed. And if they have THC cartridges and vaping, you're going to put those two and two together. It's a math problem.
So I'm getting pissed because everyone's like, vaping is killing people, when in reality it's vaping illegal substances that are illegally obtained from a black market.
It could that could be it. I think
But they
maybe-
admitted to buying
could-
these and smoking them.
It could be it. But what the CEO of frickin' Juul, Juul,
Yeah.
he said, nicotine users, we are not your target audience. That vaping is a recreational activity for enjoyment of taste.
Yes, but that has nothing to do with a chemical.
Nicotine has like a demand, an addictive demand.
Yes, but that's nicotine.
That would be far too demanding for their presentation. You know, with the fluid, it's just harmful. You know, of
Nicotine
course,
is not harmful.
Of course, with the smoke of like
Nicotine is just addictive.
Of
It's
course,
what it's tied to
yes,
that's harmful.
The water in the vaping is harmful, but with smoke, you know, it's another thing altogether. You have the smoke traveling through your trachea.
Okay, but smoke is a carcinogenic,
Yes,
which causes cancer.
and it travels through your trachea.
So you're telling me-
it causes damage to the cells in the trachea. The trachea cells, they change into squamous, which are larger scale cells resistant to the damaging effects of the smoke, and because of those cellular mutations, they are more prone to cancer.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
You okay? What? I sort of went off on a little tangent.
got a whole Steve thing.
yeah.
It's a very
It's just-
interesting thing.
You're going all over the place with different things, though. Like, I'm talking about how.
Yes.
Okay, so regular pneumonia
Yeah.
is a sickness. Yes, it can be harmful, but it's not life-threatening if it's caught by a doctor.
Not at this point. No.
Yes.
And not at this point. We have such good.
Correct.
We have enough health care. Not
Yes.
the greatest,
Now-
but we got good health care.
Now, chemical pneumonia is completely different.
It's reactive. When
Yes.
they say chemical, they are probably implying that it's more reactive. And
No,
thus,
it's causing a different effect of pneumonia.
I'm sure it's reactive. With chemical, it's probably what they're implying is that it's reactive, so that it's trying to form compounds, and then it causes damage to the cell membranes and the cell structure of the alveoli, and it's very delicate structure because, you know, as things go, you got your veins, and they all get very, like, they go all the way down to single wall cell, like, to separating from blood to the rest of the extracellular. And so that's the same with the alveoli. It gets all the way down to a very finite point, microscopic, single cell, where the gas exchange occurs from oxygen to CO2.
Yes.
And then it's very delicate.
Now,
and so all these things are occurring, and they're very damaging, you know.
Now, the chemical pneumonia is what's causing deaths.
Yes.
Because these people are getting critically ill.
You know,
they are
you know how
getting...
people are. Frickin' American healthcare is so expensive. And, you know, you have insurance, but it's still so expensive.
Yeah.
People are like, well, I don't really want to spend the money, so...
I'll just wait it out.
I'll just see if
and
I
then they get
better.
quarantined.
And then something happens, and then they end up getting to the no return point.
Yeah.
Or the dangerous 50-50 live or die ratio sort of point. And, you know, to be honest, it's our system to be blamed.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'm pursuing nursing.
Yeah, I got such a problem with the fucking hospitals.
I'm being funded by its incredible, disproportionate, like, you know, sort of where the wealth is going.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, if it's what needs to be done, you know, and I enjoy what I'm doing, I don't mind taking a cut if people get what they need. You know, that's what it's all about.
So, speaking about, like, the medical system in the U.S., when it comes to hospitals, when it comes to hospitals and procedures, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think should be the way about going when it comes to a regular patient at a hospital and trying to figure out what your cost is going to be for things?
I have no clue.
So,
to be totally honest,
I went to the
even as someone with years of nursing experience might not be able to tell because they're, you know, probably focused on what their work is.
Yeah, but then again, like, so the way that the system is formed right now is the hospital, right? Yeah. You go to the hospital or you go to the doctor. They suggest you do something, right? And then you ask them, well, how much is this going to cost? And then they tell you, well, do you have insurance? Yes. What insurance do you have? Because every single fucking insurance company covers some different portion of money. And then depending on your doctor, it also costs a different amount of money, right? Because a doctor has a different rate that they work by. And then the procedure, even though it's the same exact procedure, with this doctor might cost more than this doctor. Right. But let's say you have this insurance, it might cost more or less than this insurance. Yeah. And all of those cost a lot less than people without insurance.
True.
Right? So I went to the doctor, and I got to wear one of those, the breathing machines for when I sleep.
Oh,
yeah, it wasn't it wasn't like the breathing mask or anything. It was
right
the CPAP. It wasn't the CPAP. It was just this thing that, like, I clipped on my chest and then, like, before I fell asleep, and then after I clipped it on my chest and stuff, I fell asleep, and then it recorded my sleep. And then
your respiration throughout the night.
Yeah. So, like, I had to go pick it up from the fucking doctor. I brought it home. I put it on. I turned it on.
And you
I fell asleep.
You vape.
No, I don't vape a lot.
Not a lot.
I just vape every now and then.
So
So I put it on in my sleep, and I fall asleep. I wake up, I take it off, I fucking drive down to the doctor's office, I drop it off in the time that they asked me to drop it off, and then they had a doctor
a doctor, air
take
quotes.
it, plug it into a computer to spit out the result of the test, and then they called me up and they said, yeah, so we're gonna want you to come in again because you have sleep apnea. So I was like, okay, fine. Guess how much that fucking cost with my insurance?
What?
2 charges of $400 something.
God damn.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I had to pay over $900 fucking out of pocket for one charge was for me to bring the computer to my house. The other charge was to have the doctor read it to me.
What a gift it would be to be able to see all of why that is.
I wish they could have told me before I agreed to them fucking giving this to
Exactly.
me so that I could wear it in
It's
my own
rough.
time. Like, if they were going to tell me, yeah, it's going to cost you like $800 for you to bring this home by yourself in your own time, put it on yourself,
Healthcare,
and then sleep with it, I would have been like, okay, so wait, how much is it going to be if I have you do this all for me?
Healthcare is a very demanding field, of course, you know.
But
You know,
it shouldn't be that
everyone
demanding.
needs healthcare.
Yes.
But not
So
all
shouldn't
the
it be a
not all the
fucking
time.
human right to have it?
Right, but not all the time. They don't always need healthcare. So, because the way things are currently, it's not. Most of it's privatized. You know,
Yeah.
people are like, "Wow, there's money here to be had." We'll
Yeah,
open
no,
a
that's
hospital.
bullshit though. So it's
And
absolute bullshit if people want to
course.
have a fucking like a personal gain on or a financial gain on people's illnesses.
Well,
that's
capitalism.
not that's not a reason why you should be fucking going into the goddamn
That-
field.
That's true.
Yeah,
You know, it's
it should be
absolutely
like,
true.
oh, I want to help people, not I want to make some money off of
But
helping
you know,
people.
there's got to be a reason that you do things, and the money gives you a reason.
No, okay,
And it's very
no.
simple, but
No,
it's
if-
the
if
moral
if you
aspect
fucking
of it is
love-
out of there.
So, like, let's say you give someone who loves to clean the option between a fucking, like, 8-figure fucking income, working at a desk job, doing absolutely nothing except for being bored their whole fucking life.
Right.
They love to clean, right?
Yeah,
Versus being a janitor, where they get to have free range over whatever.
and they
get
love
to clean.
that. And
Yeah.
they love that.
Do you
Okay.
really think they're going to want to go for the money? Because, like they say, love what you do and do what you love.
But they might go for the money and then always complain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Like, if I had a high-paying job and if I didn't like it, I'm going to complain and I'm not going to want it. Like, that's not my
Yeah.
dream job, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
like
high-paying
if I
jobs
could,
are
I would
rough.
fucking just, like, do video editing shit all the time.
Yeah.
But there's barely any money in it when you, like, can't start off with
It's
anything.
an enjoyment.
Yeah, it's like a hobby.
It's a leisure.
I'm not a good enough snowboarder to get paid for it. I love to snowboard. If I
Yes.
could get a job snowboarding, fuck yes, I'm gonna take that goddamn
Yeah.
job.
So, like, you know, there's got to be money where people are going. Because
Yeah, but
that's
it shouldn't be such a high profit area
But people
when it
need
has
to
to
make
do
a
with.
living.
I know, but you could make an easy fucking living if you give a goddamn doctor fucking $100,000 a year.
Doctors make a lot of money.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
difference
Like I
between
said,
doctors and nurses.
I know,
is
but
pretty
like I
big.
said, if you give a doctor a livable wage of like anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 a year, that is livable. That is good.
And I'm
right?
not sure about how doctors go, but you know, they can go off on their own. They can go with
Doctors
the
should not be
company,
making $1 million fucking
hospital.
dollars a year.
Do they?
A lot do.
I mean, as a nurse, I could make as a nurse practitioner. I heard $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Combined with another's income, I could be living okay. But you know,
That's living good if you're making 100.
Yeah. I'd like to do some good with that. I don't know. It's the way it is.
It's a broken system.
It's a broken system.
All because of greediness in the U.S.
Yes, it is.
Now, if you go everywhere
Although
else in the world,
it stems from the original, like the people who opened it up, and then
Yes.
sort of the standards.
but it's
they
only in the
set.
U.S.
And it stems all the way back, but like there's a massive reform required in like the way like our like hospitalization system works and everything.
Yeah, but it's only in the U.S.
We'd have to rework everything
Yes.
because we have a finite amount of money and we gotta distribute that to where it's important. And
We don't have a finite amount of money. We have an infinite amount of money. Because we're constantly printing
in
money.
the country.
Yeah.
Well, we lower the value of our dollar to
Correct.
other countries.
Yes. And that's what we've been doing for years.
Of course. I think our...
Yeah, no, it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all a hoax.
Do you happen to know exactly what our dollar is worth compared to other currency?
Yes.
Would you mind
So to the
explaining?
Canadian dollar, the U.S. dollar is worth $1.33 Canadian right now, I'm pretty
So
sure.
our dollar's worth a little more.
Yeah.
What about
But-
the Chinese?
But a couple years ago, the Canadian dollar and the U.S. dollar were at par. $1 to $1, right?
Oh, yes.
Now, many, many years ago, the U.S. dollar was worth 50 cents Canadian.
So maybe the Canadians printed more money, or their dollar decreased.
No. So, it all has to do with the economy.
Ours?
Everyone's
it
economy.
stem from
And how
ours?
much debt we're in to other countries.
Well, we got trillions. What do you happen to know what Canada's got? I have no idea. Everyone always talks about our $1 trillion debt, but I have no idea where we stand.
Let me look it up.
Where the other countries stand.
All right. So, U.S. debt.
Of course, it's in the trillions.
Oh yeah, it's constantly counting up.
Yes.
It's never lowering. Internet out here sucks.
Man.
All right.
What are we approaching? 31 minutes? I really gotta use the restroom.
A few minutes later.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right.
I just want to interject, but there's a really great musical called Hadestown that my girlfriend listens to. She's currently contemplating its deeper meaning.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
So just in comparison for the U.S. to Canada, right?
Yes, right.
The U.S. as of December 31st, 2018, the debt held by the public was $16.1 trillion.
16. Where are we at?
16.1 trillion was our debt.
Our debt. 16.
Yeah.
And what about other countries?
Canada's debt was 700 billion.
700 billion? Wow, that's a very big difference.
Yeah.
999 billion equals 1 trillion, basically. So, wow.
999
Alright, screw
billion
you.
equals
Minus the
1 trillion. No, 1
billion.
trillion equals 1 trillion.
Fuck you. 1 trillion is 1 trillion, of course. We know what we're talking about here, but
Math. Fucking math.
it's a rough estimate.
I can tell why you went for nursing.
Wow, jerk.
You said
Listen,
6 trillion.
my math skills are great. It's a representation, not like a direct
Okay.
comparison. Anyways, that just goes to show where we are compared to Canada. Cause god dang.
Yep, now Canada also has free healthcare for the rest of the world.
There's a big old spider
Or
there.
for the rest of the U.S.
Bye, spider.
Where? Kill it!
It flew on me. I am a buddy now.
You know what's a huge spider?
Where?
Fly swatter. Just go.
No, the fly swatter ain't gonna do shit for this one.
Oh, it's in the air.
Do you not see it in the corner?
Corner.
It's
No.
as big as a
Upright,
fucking
upright
tarantula.
Oh!
I'm not gonna fuck with that spider.
Christian, we got this. Look, in the corner. Far corner. See that spider?
No! Nevin! Stop that!
Bro, he's brave, bro. Brady, come back. No.
Nevin, I swear to God.
He's as scared as me as I am of him. He has frickin' instincts that tell him
Don't swat it.
don't fuck
It's
with
gonna
me.
fling it. We want it dead.
I have the power
Oh,
of
then
God
up
and
then.
anime on my side.
I am getting really drunk.
Did you just say you have
We are
the power of
getting
anime
so
on your side?
sidetracked right now. I got another beer.
Oh!
No! Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh.
How dare you do that? He's just living his life.
Well, I ended it.
He wanted to go to work and then see his kids. And then he wanted to go go-karting. And then on Memorial Day, he
wanted
was
to go
going to
boating?
go camping.
No, he's already camping here.
Labor Day also.
There's another spider, dude. As soon as we kill a fucking spider,
All
another
right.
one shows
you
up.
guys are such jerks.
Yeah.
Hydra.
Fucking
I
Christ,
hate
man.
you guys.
These are all Hydra spiders.
That spider
You kill one,
was
show up.
cool.
Yeah,
And
like
he
they're
didn't wanna
everywhere. It's okay. It's okay.
Drink beer.
Anyway, so just in short term, the U.S. sucks,
Well, yeah.
and the rest of the world is better.
So, is that like the second place for debt? I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I'm pretty
Canada-
sure other countries are more in debt than us.
I mean, $1 billion is a lot of money.
I'm pretty sure Africa is very in debt.
Africa?
Yeah.
Well, you got your phone. Man, we don't need to know shit anymore.
Yeah,
we can just frickin' go.
Countries
Siri, do
with
you
the
know
most-
how long it takes for me to climax?
3 seconds.
At 3 seconds. I'm like, sorry, whoa.
Hold it right
When
there.
you pull it out of your pants, you
Way
get
to
excited.
bolster my confidence, Siri. Whoa.
Yeah. Siri, what have you been listening to when I didn't?
Siri,
tell you
what do you call me? Two pump chump. All right, countries with the most debt. Number 1 is Japan. Number 2 is Italy. Number 3 is Greece. Number
And
4 is
let's hit that
Belgium.
drop down arrow.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. The internet out here sucks.
We will load eventually. In the meantime, I have a riddle for you.
Can we play cards? That's my riddle.
In the meantime, I have a riddle for you. How do you get out of a room with no windows and no doors with just a mirror and a board? You look in the mirror, you see what you saw, you take the saw, you cut the board in half, 2 halves make a hole, you climb out the hole.
I'm done with you.
Get
That's something you said.
out.
You guys want to play Up Another River with Al? Because he knows how to play.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone can.
We got British Home Idea.
What?
If it'll connect.
1.18 trillion?
1.6. Yeah. China is 1.18 trillion in debt.
All right, let's
Japan
scroll,
is 1.06
let's scroll down
trillion
there.
in
Where's
debt.
the United States? Click that.
United States is the 6th highest country in debt.
All right, so maybe we're 16 trillion
We're
in
not top
our
5.
own U.S. dollars. But are they talking about?
Is it really good to be number 1 when it comes to debt?
Are they talking about a universal dollar? Or?
America, number 1 in debt. I'm gonna go take out more loans.
We have no choice.
With ourselves.
That's why China's really the lowest in debt. Let's see what country has the least amount of debt.
Well, obviously, some.
Wow, I think must be more interested in the comparative United States debt of, with Japan in regard.
I don't know, you guys should look at a timeline of currency values.
A timeline of currency values.
Yep.
The United States would have a very interesting one.
The U.S. has a real shit currency.
We're
though.
very
For the
new.
most part, it'd be up there.
We're very new compared to the other
Steve.
countries.
You want to see a good card trick?
Yes, I
You
would
see
love
this
to
number,
see.
right?
You need to come over here by the camera.
No.
Why?
Saudi Arabia has the least amount of debt.
They have oil.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Botswana is second
so if
to
I shuffle
least.
this right.
All right.
Shuffle
Russia is third
Right.
to least.
Shuffle this.
I'm sorry. you
Russia
guys don't
has
see
the
this.
is
I
the
haven't seen
third
this, right?
lowest debt country in the
Ace
world.
of clubs.
Ace of Clubs.
Okay.
Kuwait
Yes.
is number 4. Nigeria is number 5.
Shuffle this around again.
The United Arab Emirates
The thing.
is number 6. Algeria is
Parts.
7.
That's what I was gonna say.
Kazakhstan is number 8.
Is that the magic trick?
I'm disappointed in you.
Kazakhstan is the greatest country in the world.
Wet with oil.
All right, so
This is
so the U.S.
interesting.
sucks.
Well, yeah. Okay. So this is depressing.
No, you.
This is depressing. I just want to say that Animal Crossing is coming out
In March.
next year at March, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be
a couple
feel
days
good.
before my birthday.
It's gonna be March 2nd.
Yeah, but it's coming out like March 25th,
What are you?
27th.
Okay. Well, we got.
I'm getting it the week.
we
I
got
get
that
it the
to
week of
look
my birthday.
forward
I'm happy.
to. I am. It's just a brighter
Yeah.
time.
Well, I mean, okay, so yeah, it's depressing that like
These little
it's
instances.
being held off, but it's great that they're like holding it off so they like don't kill their employees.
There's all sorts of things that are out of our control that we can do our little bit of influences and then just hope that
Like
our
save the rainforest.
influences roll into the equation, and that's all we can do. That's all we can do.
Like saving the rainforest.
Yes, which is apparently on fire right now.
Yeah, it's been on fire.
Massively burning.
Yeah.
For how many years?
Like a month.
A month? That's a
I
long
think
time
like 2
for
weeks.
fire. Fire can travel for a little bit in a month, although I wouldn't say, because I'm not an expert on such things. But
Have
know.
you heard that there is a city in the U.S. that used to be a coal mining city,
Yes.
and it's still on fire to this
the
day.
coal is still burning.
Yeah,
today.
underneath, yeah.
It's abandoned, and the coal burns.
It's not abandoned. There are people still living there,
Well, yes, there are a couple people.
but they
still
always
living
have hot water.
They're old, and they still always have hot water, and they're there, of course. But the coal is burning, and it's emitting gas, and it's harmful. Of course.
Yeah, no, it's it's
they're
it's
old.
helping out with the
They're-
it's helping out with the the fucking global warming.
Is it really?
As in, it's helping to add to the
Oh.
dangerous side effects of global warming.
Oh, that is not the case.
Also, there's enough coal
God
and
damn.
shit in there for it to continue burning for
Oh
the
yeah,
next
that's another thing.
1,000
about
of years.
The coral. You guys, you've heard about the coral.
How'd you get to coral from coal?
There's a global warming. Coral is affected by global warming.
Everything's affected by global warming.
Yes, it is everything. Temperature changes affect
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
The human body operates it within a very, very finite range of temperatures. If you don't operate within those temperatures, the proteins and enzymes that function, they denature, which means that they deform and don't produce the function that they are meant to produce. And of course, any biological organism is affected by such temperatural, functions. And something in water would be even more susceptible because water is,
Yeah.
it absorbs heat.
So, I think we have more of a worry for ice melting.
Yes, well,
Because
definitely, if you ever seen like the polar ice caps in over time, there's probably close to a 70% decrease in ice mass. it looked as though, I don't know what the exact statistic was, but you know, of course, with that, there's all sorts of, everything adds up. You know, it's a domino effect. You know, more water.
Yeah. More water, more flooding, less land.
Increased temperature. You know, it's everything exists within a delicate balance.
Well, we're also getting an increase of temperature because we're building
like
up
our
with
body.
greenhouse gases.
98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or the proteins denature. They don't have the shape that they need in order to
function properly,
to line up with the cellular wall. Jeez, I forget the word, but they can't do what they need to do because they aren't the right shape, and it just throws everything out of function. Things die. You know, things they don't do what they meant to do. It's just it's chaos, and this is and these are the sorts of things that are going on with coral reefs. And although I did hear about a reproduction in lab of one type of coral. Type.
Because I figured we'd roll.
A reproduction. So they were able to grow Chevron of coral in the lab, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, because then, you know, of course, we can. It won't be gone forever. Of course, there might be some way to manipulate its evolution so that it's more resistant against these temperature changes, or that's more suited to these temperature changes.
Especially in the new difficulty.
All of it's money, and that national debt is going to go up. Especially
No.
if it's deemed necessary. If we have a president that's sort of focusing on those sorts of things, the national debt's going to go up because we don't have the money to support those sorts of things, but it's necessary and we need to go in that direction. But that's not to be disheartened. We shouldn't be discouraged or shy away from such things because, you know, as a planet, we all live together, and we need to start seeing ourselves as a whole, as a planet, rather than separate nations. Because, you know, we've made it to space, we've gone to the moon, we sent probes to other planets. You know, we are.
Are you
out
about
there.
to say cities or states? We've
friend-
sent probes to other states.
We have sent probes.
Those aliens have been probing people.
Anyways, we've sent them out off planet, and we are beyond ourselves now.
Oh, it's back.
We need to start seeing ourselves.
Yeah.
as such.
We're just getting gigantic spiders after
And
gigantic
I'm gonna
spiders.
help this spider. Hey, spider. Climb in this.
Kill it.
Climb in this, spider.
Kill it.
Dude, you're moving it from its normal spot. I'm not going inside now.
Spider.
Kill it.
Just swat it with the fly swatter. So there's another one of those giant...
It's not going to want to go on the bottle. It's going to want to eat you.
Okay, well, that would take a very long time. Anyways, climate change. It is actually happening. There are statistics. We're supposed to be in a cool period right now, and we suddenly dipped upwards since the beginning of the 1900s. That was roughly the Industrial Revolution. We started dipping upwards, and it was very sharp upward shift in CO2 emissions. But, like, basically, don't ignore it.
Let me guess, Dad. Just
So, in simple words, get rid of grass, grow moss instead, because moss emits more oxygen than grass and trees combined.
Oh wow!
Also, growing cannabis also produces more oxygen.
Great.
And, yeah.
Oh my God! Support weed. I didn't know about these things,
Yep.
but these are very interesting.
Wait, hold on.
All right.
I'll get here. What time?
Well, we're hitting our time.
It's about 51.
Yeah.
Hi.
So, thank you.
Yeah, well, it looks like I was more talkative than I thought I'd be, because I'm kind of shy.
Okay, buddy.
And I'm also drunk right now, so.
Yeah, he's Steve right now. Anyway, thanks, Steve.
Actually, my name is Nevin,
That-
so do not be.
Drunk Steve, sober Nevin.
Correct.
He's
Yes.
Steve.
First name.
All right, well. Have a good one, guys.
No.
Appreciate it.